चलिए. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. A few very small nudges and nuggets that come up from founders is very important. It really helps us understand which direction the earth is rotating.
True.
Yeah. It talks about how the earth is rotating. It talks about smiles. That will take us miles, and that's important. And that's a very wonderful gesture. I was living in the campus yesterday, right? And people were so helpful. I did not know where the canteen is. And I did not have to really look at Google Maps. I had people around who were telling me this way. And the canteen guy was so caring. He said, sir, वैसे तो 9 बजे शुरू होता है. आप आ गए, आप बोलिए आपको क्या खाना है, मिल जाएगा. And he gave me what I wanted. That's gestures of teamwork or smile or gratitude, which Sir was talking about. And in business, when we talk about these things and we live it, it goes a long way. Yeah, that's where the values word come from, what you value most. Let's take this further. Before we go to the first break, we'll do a small activity and exercise. We are going to have breaks, so don't worry about it. Our break is planned around 11:15, 11:30. And I have a couple of slides just before I take you there to talk about it. So let me share the screen back. Here you go. And this time we are going to do a quick look at this question. Don't have to answer the question. You know the answers. Yes? Is there a difference between this question and the next question?
Yes.
Deepak told me not to use these two questions. But I put it on purpose because I wanted to know if these two questions are related and are the same. Is the answer to both the questions same? No? Q. Does experience lead to learning? Yes, no, maybe. Is experience equal to learning? Yes, no, maybe. No?
Yes.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel that the word work experience kind of states that the time when a person begins his or her professional journey.
Yeah.
But learning starts from the day we are born.
Okay.
So I don't think that we can equate both while they complement each other.
Yeah.
But learning goes beyond work experience, and even if somebody is not professionally aligned to something, that person can still learn from various life experiences. Somebody who is a homemaker is still learning. A child who is born today is starting the learning journey. But yes, learning maybe gets amplified when the professional journey begins.
Awesome. So learning gets amplified when the professional journey begins. That means every experience at work leads to learning.
Very much yes.
Very much yes. So what did you learn since morning today?
But even what I wanted to point out is that even beyond work, even beyond my office,
Noted.
life is a great learning space.
Noted. 100%. We are learning since we are born. I typically have learned over the years that as we start graduating, we stop learning. I just 1 year beta study this 12th standard. After that, your life is going to be wonderful. How many of you heard this from your parents? All of us. And then we did graduation. That is where parents said, just these 3 years, 4 years, do your engineering, then life is going to be wonderful. Right? Many of you heard that as well. And then when you came to doing a job, then HR is still saying, come for a workshop, learn something. Your life will be wonderful. When is my life going to be wonderful? Yeah.
At the end of the journey.
At the end of the journey. And learning is not stopping. So my question is, Does every experience lead to learning, or is there something that I have to add to the equation of experience that leads to learning? Unconsciously, I'm learning something or the other. Unconsciously, every experience is leaving an impression on my mind. Can I do something consciously to convert my experience into learning?
Practice.
Practice. What else?
Say certain activities.
Certain activities like
Like attending kind of session or read about magazine or explore the.
so doing some structured learning maybe, and again that is called as another experience. Reading a book or attending a classroom is another experience. What do you do in that experience? This room of around 32 people here, not everyone will carry the same learning back. Agree, disagree? Everyone will have a different learning. You remember some people rated us like backbenchers and we are here successful. Yeah, why was that? Because we were learning better at the back of the bench in the classroom when the front enders were not. So what was that difference? You were doing what? You were implementing experience to get a result. The first thing which we do to convert any experience into learning is thinking about it. That's reflection. If I don't think positively about any experience, it's not going to improve. Remember that professor in college who taught for 20 years from the same notebook? He did not improve. He did not learn. He just taught. He did not change his notes. But this manager sitting over here, who last year performed in a certain way, through the appraisal system or without, learned something and became better the next year. Not because he wanted an appraisal, but because he reflected onto what his experience was.
Learn from the experience that
Thought on the experience, and hence learning may happen. There are two important questions you can always ask on any experience. How many of you do a lot of meetings? At least 3 to 4 meetings a day? Right? Two questions to ask after every meeting. What was useful in this meeting? What was good? What was useful? And second, what could I have done better in this meeting? So every meeting becomes a learning experience for me.
right.
Otherwise, every meeting is a meeting which happens, and another meeting, and the next meeting, and the meeting continues. Project management, you guys do awesome. There's one very important line at the end of the project. In project closure, what did you do well? What could you have done better? This comes from there. No, not my gyan.
Experience.
Yeah. So in this project, what did you experience that was good, that you did well, and what could you have done better? Simple, two questions. Now why wait till the end of the project? Today morning I had breakfast in your canteen. An experience for me. I had some poha, I had some bhaji along with some puri and a cup of tea. An experience happened. I don't reflect, no learning is going to happen. But if I reflect on it and I ask the question, what went well? There was a table reserved for me. It said reserved and had everything ready. I entered in and the person served me the poha. Immediately. I did not have to wait. I did not have to buy that coupon as well. He remembered me by the face or through the instructions of the HR and the admin. This went well. Now if I ask my question, what could have been better?
If you can have the breakfast at your home, means at guest house.
Maybe somebody could say, hello, आप वहाँ पे लेना चाहोगे क्या? Or would you like to have a cup of morning tea when you're going off for a morning walk? वो dip dip वाला आपको नहीं बनाना पड़े शायद. Or even in that restaurant where I was being served, there was nothing wrong about it. But if I could think beyond what is best, then excellence starts happening, starts occurring. Otherwise, we just pause. We say, हो गया. We get satisfied. We get kind of, I have arrived. मैं पहुंच गया हूँ. And that is a biggest enemy of excellence. So I invite you at every experience, ask this question of reflection and put up a learning in life. And if I ask you with all your years of experience, or chalo, let me make it simple, this year's experience, can you tell me one experience on which you reflected in a certain way that led to learning? याद करेंगे कोई experience. Don't tell me name of a project. Tell me a specific incident on a certain day where you had an experience and you put some questions on it, reflection on it, and this is what I learned. Learning would definitely make you Gyani, but the next two sentences are equally important. Learning plus application leads to development. And if I don't develop, is it okay if I don't develop? I asked this very important question. Are you expecting appraisals next year or this year, whenever they are going to happen? Are you expecting increase in salary? Boss के सामने ही पूछ रहा हूँ. Smile करके हाँ बोल सकते हो. You are expecting, right? The next question goes is why? Is it a right or a responsibility? Right. Responsibility. किसका right और किसका responsibility? वहाँ से सवाल शुरू होता है. I get answers like inflation है ना तो salary तो बढ़ना चाहिए. I say that's economic problem, not. I just say one simple thing, sir. If you go back to your boss saying, what I was doing last year, out of that, I learned something this year and I have improved myself and I will be doing things more effectively, efficiently, and hence the increase in salary. And if I cannot go back and say that, now development, we all stop at that. कि हाँ मैंने कुछ तो भी develop कर लिया, नया कर लिया. Look at the next word, development plus continuous improvement. Going back to your SOP and cutting it into threads and saying a new SOP. Going back to your process and saying, what can I do better in this process? Going back to your relationships with your people and saying, what can I do better in this relationship? Going back to your emotional stability and checking every hour, how many hours was I happy and can I improve my happiness hours continuously in a holistic way, not in one of the either ways. That is excellence. If someone says, I am the best, sir, you just started the journey of excellence. Because best के beyond सोचना ही excellence शुरू होता है. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a printout document and I'm going to actually invite you to reflect in your life back. Think of an experience where you added a question and you made learning out of it. You applied that learning and you improved or developed something. And then at a stage you reached where you improved onto what you thought was awesome, and that is where excellence is. And what you're going to do is you're going to tell the story to someone and ask him, can you do this excellence plus? Can you give me an input or two to make this excellence plus? Shall I repeat? Yeah, aa gaya. It's a big ask. So think of an incident, that is an experience. What did you reflect on it that made it learning? Step 1 done. Learning को मैंने कहाँ apply किया? Where did it apply? So what developed? What went improved? उस improvement पे मैंने क्या continuous improvement किया कि now I can say this is excellence. And then you tell the story to on the table to someone or beyond the table, we can go beyond. and ask him a question. This is what I think excellence. I need some suggestions to make this excellence plus. Not to challenge him. I've seen people, at least working professionals, do this is excellent, karke dikha iske upar kuch. This is not that game we are looking at. See the humbleness in this question. I say this is as per me excellence, and I invite you, I need some inputs from you to make this excellence plus. The other person gives you an input or says pass, whatever it is. Take that input, say thank you, go to the next. And do this with 2 to 3 people in this room. This is our first experiment towards excellence. Personal experiment.